Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 177. If it works, it's not crazy. We're going to be talking about our favorite non standard game mechanics, at least for a little while. And then, the damn thing's going to go off the rails, and we're going to talk about who the hell knows what. Reese might be on later. Um, We do have McMurray coming on. He's running a little behind, but he'll make it. And then the invitation is out to the Mutt and to Todd. And Jeffy's got the invitation also. So we might see them. We might not. Who knows? But we do have those sales going on that I've previously mentioned over at wiley-games.com. Let's see here. Let me pull up my mail again because I want to be exact with it here. Let's see. Got 3 sales now. Actually, we only have 2 sales. The 10% off on Fistful of Lead Glorious Adventures in the Age of Steam has finished. That was on September 13th is when it ended. So hopefully you got your chance to get that ordered. But what we do have right now until the end of October 31st, using the code GRUESOME, GRUESOME, at checkout, you will receive 20% off everything under the Tales of Horror umbrella. So the Tales of Horror book, Tales of Horror hoodies, Tales of Horror mugs, all the deck of cards, the PDF, 20% off of that, all of that. And then any hoodie that you order, whether it be a Tales of Horror hoodie or any of the other many different ones that they offer, you get free shipping right now. So that's another good deal for you. So, and then lastly, got the dad hat, as Jay Wiley puts it. It's the hat that he always wears. It's the baseball cap with the Wiley logo. It's a pretty decent looking hat. If I wore hats, I would probably grab one, but I don't. And it looks like they've got them in multiple colors now that I'm looking at it. It looks like they've got black, blue, it's a dark navy blue, red, and camouflage. And maybe a dark slate gray, possibly. Let's take a look. Black, navy, cranberry, dark gray, and green camo. There you go, guys. So only $19.99 for the hat. So that's what we got going there. Let's see what's happening over on the textures. Telemachus is in the house saying he was a supercalifragile mystic plagued by halitosis. Yeah, that's gonna be rough for the guy. Nordic says, sucks to be him. Yes, it does. Richard Keenan says, I made it. Yes, you did, Richard. Thank you for joining us tonight. Gruesome twosome. Well, eventually, hopefully, there will be a twosome, at least a twosome, possibly a threesome or a foursome. Right now, I'm a onesome, an unsome. I don't know. Nord's back. Hey, Ashley, how y'all doing? Are y'all at home or y'all out driving someplace again doing weird Iowa things? Let me know. Also, of course, you want to check out my my favorite scenic product, uh, Geek Gaming Scenics has got their fast drying basing glue that is used to put on the amazing, well, this is one of my favorites. It's the forest ground cover that is uh, just one of the greatest products out there for covering. So this is what that looks like when it's on the model or on the base. Uh, I think it works really well for Northwest Europe, Western Europe, like Germany, etc., etc. Um, and here is a couple of models that it's on. Couple of 3mm M60s. Pretty good stuff, all in all, I think. So go ahead and go ahead, go over to geekgamingusa.com and pick yourself up a bag or two or a dozen of the uh, basing material, base ready. There you go, base ready material. So definitely worth it. Put in the notes that you saw it here on Not Jay's Chronicles channel. Um, you're not going to get anything off, discount wise, but you might get a nifty little message from McMurray. So, let me do this real quick, guys. Do 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 do. Another quick invite. Just in case y'all you want to pop on. So what's been happening? Oh, if y'all hadn't seen, I put out a short this past Saturday. It was only like 15 or 16 seconds long, and it was of a B-2 bomber doing a flyby at the air show I was at in St. Joe, Missouri. And that thing has gotten over 12,000 views. That is the most views that's the most views of not only any of my other shorts, but all of my shorts combined don't come up to 12,000. Then I also did one day later, I put one up, or a day and a half, next day or Monday, maybe, I think it was. I put up one of the Thunderbirds that I took. That one's got over 2,700 views now. So I don't know. I've got 457 on my channel subscribers now. I don't know how long those 457 are going to last, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to do my best to do some random shorts like that from time to time when I can. I took a lot of video during the air show, so there's a good possibility that I'll just randomly throw some stuff up there to see what pops in. But it's driving people to the channel, I guess. People seem to like it. Like I said, I got 457, so it's 43. I'm only 43 away from 500, guys. I didn't even think I'd ever even get close to 200. And then that happened. And then I didn't think I'd ever get to 300. And then that happened. So, yeah, it's good stuff. Weird Iowa thing. Yeah, actually, weird Iowa thing. It's weird Illinois stuff over here, too, man. I mean, I don't know what it is about I-states and corn. Makes people do weird shit all the time. So, yeah, there you have it. So So yeah, I will be on the lookout though. On Friday morning, I will have another video and another short up. It's going to be how I paint, another how I paint video. People seem to like those a lot, so I'm going to continue with those for a while. Um, Let me know what you guys would like me to paint next. You want to see me do another 1/800 scale ships uh, like USS Missouri here? Um, would you like to see me to paint more Star Wars? Uh, would you like me to see, let me know what you're interested in. If I've got the STL or I can get a hold of the STL, I can print it and I can paint it. So, yeah, just let me know. Let's see. Nord, haven't got my mojo back for painting. I got about 350 50mm World War II Germans and French to paint. That's all the miniatures in my collection. So 15mm Germans are easy, and I've got some here that I got to paint up for my buddy Copeland that I've had for ever. If y'all saw here we are. I think they're Germans. They might be. Nope, that's not them. They might very well be. Oh, here they are. Yeah, Hungarians. I think maybe I don't know. But he's got a couple of these that he wants painted, and I might just paint these guys up just to show you how I do them. Let me get a little bit better light here for you. And there we go. Okay, let's see if that's enough to show what I want. Yeah, that'll work. So, yeah, here he is. He's got his Car 98. Looks like he's got a detonator box there. The zzz thing that generates the spark that goes down the det cord to make things blow up. Yeah, we've got two of those guys, it looks like. And then this guy here looks like he's got a Panzerfaust on him. So I might paint those up real quick. Now, I don't do anything fancy with them. I don't go in and paint the P dot or anything crazy like that. I just do the standard, like gray tunic, gray green tunic, and gray green trousers. So I might do that for my next how I paint. Do one, maybe two. I don't know. We'll see. Charles says hi. How you doing, Charles? Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Hold on 1 second. Murray, how you doing?
How are we now? Nord needs to get back from getting his dinner out of the oven so I can answer this esoteric question.
Yes.
I'm quite excited for that. But yeah, no, I saw your 15s. Those should be fun to paint. They should be easy to paint, especially if you find a reasonable or a reasonable grayish primer to prime them. Then certainly the Mausgrau Feldgrau is very, very attainable. I've done that with lots of miniatures. You know what? If you just do any primer with just any of the field grays, whether it's the Army Painter field gray or either the Vallejo field grays or anything else, even right down to like Army Painter uniform gray, again, works just fine for the grayer end of field gray.
Right.
can really
Right.
do
Because there's like
some fun.
there's like 400 shades of field gray, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the awkward softcore World War II or post-war book is 50 Shades of Felgrau. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
yeah,
ladies and
that's
gentlemen,
entirely about Joe Lee getting after it.
yep, we got
Oh man, do we have a Greg?
we got Greg and Ashley probably in the background.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm the one painting.
No, I'm
Oh,
painting too.
okay. All right. Looks like she's got.
Valtech.
There you go, BattleTech.
I'm doing Nova right now.
Outstanding. Good stuff. So yeah, if you know, I think I am going to do those Germans for the next video coming out a week and a half. But let me know what you guys want to see me paint or how I paint stuff. I think that's a pretty good subject.
You know what's kind of embarrassing, Chris?
What's that?
So I had this idea in my head where I was going to help you out with those by doing like like you know how in cooking shows they've got that awkward and then we're going to set it into the oven at 450 for 20 minutes, and they put that one into the oven and they pull one out that's been in the oven for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was trying to do that with like, so now I'm going to paint this color on here and then just immediately put that miniature down and pick one up that's got the other color on it. But batch painting is so ingrained into my brain. I was starting to do that. Got like 3 steps in, was like, I can't fucking do this. There's no way.
Yeah.
I was driving myself absolutely.
Yeah.
How have you been, McMurray?
Insane, and then get back to back. But yeah.
So,
it's
Corey.
But
ouch.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Did I just like phase out here?
No, you're here. I can hear you. Are you there? I can't. Hello,
Chris. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? I see.
Hi.
Hold on one second, guys. Talk amongst yourselves.
Chris, are you muted?
McMurray,
Ashley,
can you hear us?
Can anybody hear me? Ashley, wait.
Yes,
You
we can hear you.
Son
I don't know if he can hear
of
us.
a bitch.
Can you hear us?
Hello. 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 Hello.
Nope, meaning he can't hear us.
Ashley, wave if you can hear me. Chris just bounced out. Oh, you can hear me. Okay, so I just can't hear you guys. All right, well, Chris bounced out, so we're going to get some, I guess, chatter going while Chris is talking to the fantastic Donna. Hammer that out in the texter, guys.
Now, can
All
you
right,
hear
sorry about that, guys. I had to say hi to Donna. She just got back from Meet the Teacher night and had to wrangle cats out.
Wait, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
What the fuck? Now I can hear you. I'm so fucking confused. I got this new car, and that's fantastic, but everything runs through the car, and I can't figure out how to keep the goddamn sound on. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a technology person.
You're doing your best. You're doing your best.
Well, we're trying, bud. We're trying.
Anywho, so yeah, McMurray, something I mentioned before you hopped on, that B2 short that I put up on my channel.
Wait, B2 or B20
yeah.
or B17?
B2. I did they at the air show they did a B2 flyby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I caught it on video. And just like 14, 15 seconds, not even that maybe, threw that up as a short on the channel.
I'm sure that did phenomenal.
12,000 views already.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm
Wow.
sure that did phenomenal.
Yeah, 12,000 views. And I then the next day or the day after that, I put up one of the Thunderbirds doing a maneuver.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one's already got like 2,700.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I'm about
I'm
to say,
at
those are sure to
400
be phenomenal.
and I'm at 457 subscriptions. I went from like 408 to 457 like overnight.
Overnight with those 17,000 views.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
That means you should probably start painting some aircraft. If
Yeah,
you got,
I'm thinking so. Yeah.
several dozen subscribers off of aircraft related content, it might be about
Yep.
that time to say maybe we'll paint some modernish aircraft.
Yeah, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to print up an F-15, an F-16, and an A-10.
Hell yeah,
People
dude.
go stupid over A-10s, man. They go absolutely batshit
Which one is
crazy
the
over
A10?
The Warhog.
Oh, the Warhawk. Okay.
That's because they're
Oh, yeah.
fantastic. You know what I saw? I saw an A10 that was painted up like a really light gray, so it almost gave off the impression of being, one of the polished, World War II styles of paint.
Yeah.
But then they had painted the black and white Normandy 1944 invasion stripes on it.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know how to feel, but I was not entirely comfortable with how I did feel. Like, that was fucking stirring. That was incredible to see.
I liked it. I've seen that picture, and I've also seen the Brits took one of their Typhoons and
Yes.
did, the Typhoon 2 and did the same thing with it.
Yes. It doesn't
And
work. It doesn't work super well with like Delta Wing stuff,
Right.
but anything that's remotely, fixed straight wing, I need
Yeah.
it. That'd get you all hot and bothered. Tell you how much.
Yeah,
I
it
know.
does. Yeah, it does. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna find some F-15s, F-16, an A-10, print those up, and those will be the next couple of weeks.
Those will all be smash hits. You know it. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
not to mention the fact that modern aircraft are about as easy to be or as easy to paint as can be, given that they're all very intentionally painted as flat a gray as humanly possible.
yeah. So what the trick is going to be is I need to see if I can grab some stars and bars decals. The nice thing about
Kind of, but stealth
the
fighters
modern-
don't, or stealth aircraft don't even always have, like,
No,
anything on 'em.
They do, but they're a very, very intentionally like half shade off
Okay.
of
that's
the
fair.
color
They're
of the
muted.
aircraft.
How about this? They're muted to the point where they are invisible on a 1/600 scale model.
Pretty close, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like
So,
you're right. As soon as I said that, it was one of those. Well, they do, but
but it's like painting eyes on a 15 millimeter figure.
yeah,
You're not going to see them, or you shouldn't be able to see them.
yeah, it's almost more unrealistic to do it and try and get it on
Yeah.
there than it is to just say it's on there. You just can't see it. I did hear you reference painting P-Dot on 15s though, and I do want to give a shout out to the one, the only Jeffrey Fry,
Yes.
the
Because
one
he
man I
has
know
done
who's
that.
crazy enough to 100% paint P-Dot on 15s because he is
Yeah.
a real American hero. Hopefully he's got a video conference he's got a phone call he's on right now. Hopefully he can make it in here. It's always good to have Mr. Hex to
Yeah.
Hex on, and he can hopefully shed some light on the insanity that is painting P-Dot on 28s or on 15s.
So Richard Keenan says about 10 years ago they had a B-2 do the flyover at the Coke 600 NASCAR race.
Mhm.
It egressed low and slow right over my house. The shadow on the ground was amazing, kind of like a mini eclipse.
Oh, I'm sure that'd be incredible.
Dude, it looks like a mini eclipse in the sky. Let's be honest.
Yeah, just
If-
a block moving across the sun.
Yeah, it looks like somebody tore a hole out of the blue sky and just left it black.
Yeah.
So
You know what's really
Um,
fantastic? Doing any sort of woodworking or light carpentry as a miniature wargamer, because there's always 8 million tape measures around.
no, there you
Super
go.
helpful. Super
Oh,
helpful.
yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah, because I can go right here and yeah, boom.
Yeah. Big
It's,
fan.
I've got I legitimately have at least a dozen Wiley tape measures.
Well, yeah,
That's
mine,
coming
aren't,
from your brother.
mine aren't necessarily all Wiley, but I certainly miniature game
Well-
for long enough
Yeah.
in my pre-Wiley days that I've got many, many, many that aren't.
So speaking of Wiley, have we heard anything about March to Victory?
That it's going to be the last weekend of March.
As far as I know, the plan is to run it at the same location.
Yep.
Hopefully this year, given that we did have a really pretty, I think last year's turnout exceeded people's expectations, given that there was not a whole lot of forewarning or advertising, given that
Right.
we crammed that room full of people,
Well, you have
almost
access to the
uncomfortably
other
so.
rooms, right?
Hopefully
What's
that
that?
means that, what?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Greg said something.
I'm sorry,
Oh.
McMurray. I didn't mean to talk over you. I was going to say, when I was talking to Jay, he said you guys had access to those other rooms, though, right?
Yeah,
If you
that's
have
my
more
point.
People.
Yeah, hopefully this year we can get down with the downstairs and the upstairs rooms, which would be pretty awesome, especially if we can get some of those, real big games coming up, such that we can really take advantage of all that space.
Right. Exactly.
So
Nord wants to know, says try painting Hoplon designs on 10 millimeter Greeks.
no,
Yeah,
No,
exactly. No.
thank you, Nord. What was your
It's-
esoteric question, Nord? I'm really, really, really excited for this, actually.
I said, yeah, he's back. He's going to play Storm over Jerusalem. And did you give any thought to my esoteric question last week? I don't remember what that question was.
You're going to have to reiterate it for me, Nord. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, because I've slept since then, at least once.
I'm just not that smart, and I've been around a lot of lead in my day.
So,
But I would
With-
very much like to answer that, Nord. You just got to help me out.
yeah. So while we're waiting for here it is. What scale miniatures are best for collecting and painting if you are unsure you will ever game with them and have limited storage space?
Oh, Lord, I do remember this now. And I think so. Actually, I did think about this, and I have to give you a different answer depending on what the miniatures are, right? So, like, because I did think about this. Now that you say it again, I did. With Age of Sail ships, I would honest to God say probably 1/300, because at that point in time, like Victory and whatnot is about a foot long, and you can really get that good feeling for it, right? But at the same time, it's not too big to the point where you have no idea what the hell's going on. And it's just overly clunky. At that size, it still fits on a shelf nicely. If you have limited space and you have, like I said, like a shelf, then you could always cant off to the side. I think it's the Hamburg Maritime Museum does that with ships, where they've got them canted off to the side at like a 45-degree angle at that good like bow quarter. For basically anything, once you get into post really early ironclads, and by that I mean even really early ironclads that just aren't American Riverine ironclads, all the way through like World War II, I would have to say either 1 700 or 1 1200 would be my preference, depending on your budget. Because if you're going with 1 1200, the models are going to cost you significantly more than 1 700. But ultimately, you're probably going to be able to find a slightly better selection. Depending on what, sort of period you're looking at. This actually did mess me up a little bit, Nord, because I was thinking about, okay, if I did, and what the real stick in my craw was Ancients, right? So on one hand, it would be cool to have, to just be able to look at 54 millimeter Ancients in all of their splendor, because you have so much artistry and everything else in the uniform, the weapons, the armor, everything else. But I'll be damned if I don't want to see a Roman Legion at 1-to-1 and 2 millimeter.
Good boy.
Because goddamn, that's cool. That would be incredible.
That would be amazing.
Right. And at one point in time, I was very, very close to just saying screw it and doing it. And at some point in time, I still may. The issue is, even at 2 millimeter, that's going to take like a 1 foot, by 1 foot, chunk of MDF to base it on.
Right.
But I have the files from Project Wargaming that I used for the Strength and Honor stuff that I did before I realized I kind of didn't really want to play Strength and Honor that much. But I do have those. And they came out looking really good. I don't know if you remember those. I did a bunch of those when Warmutt and I had our little Paint Romans challenge.
Yeah.
So that was my sticking point in particular with Ancients, because that's where I kind of started, right, and then moved forwards. ACW was kind of the next one that I was really looking at, like, a black powder type period. And I gotta tell you, man, I think, especially as you move further on into the black powder period, I think 6 mil might be the way to go, just so that, again, you can get that big unit feel. Because combat, for the most part, breaks down from that individual, guy, even in a big battle, you don't have, champions stepping forward and fighting, one-on-one combat, mano-a-mano. So for that sort of stuff, and obviously the earlier you go into black powder, you run into the same issues as you do with Ancients, where there's all this artistry and pageantry that you might want to see. So like if you're doing 7 Years' War or French and Indian War, you might, maybe you want to see all of the braiding and everything else, and the piping on the uniforms and the buttons and everything like that. I don't necessarily do quite as much of that, and then I got up to World War II, and honest to God, again, I think I might stick with 28, because you can get really good looking armor in there, and you can get really good looking 28 millimeter figures with the equipment that you're looking for and everything else. So I did, Nord. Now that I think about that, I 100% did think about that question. I apologize for saying that right off the bat. And it's a bitch. Aircraft is all 1/600. But I hope that helps. That was a long rant.
That's a good one, though. I would have to agree with everything you said on that, because it really, having a single ACW guy or a single Napoleonic guy would be cool at 28 or 54 millimeter, because you can do the turn backs and the buttons and all that. But yes, there were individual soldiers, but they didn't operate as individual soldiers. They operated as a big ass unit.
Yeah, I want to see the regiment march, right? Like, same with the Ancients. I think it'd be super cool in 6 mil to, put together, okay, here is your 2 lines. Here are your file fillers. You've got an officer in front. You've got NCOs walking behind. That just seems beyond fucking cool to me. And especially if I was just doing it for display purposes instead of gaming purposes, then absolutely. Because the only reason we don't do that now is because it'd be impractical for a game. But at 6 mil, you could 100% do that. If you did it at 28, you'd need a 48-inch shelf. And even then, you'd get like a company out there because you'd have a guy every inch, and then you'd have 100, guys. And so that's problematic. At 6 mil, you can really get after it because then, you need 2 feet to get 100 guys lined up, shoulder to shoulder to shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And so at that rate, you could field a pretty average strength, maybe low strength, but average strength regiment deployed in line with their file fillers and everything else. Granted, it'd still be a long, skinny 2-foot base, but it would be super cool. And if you wanted to, you could say, okay, well, I have a company deployed as skirmishers. Then you got guys out front, and then you shorten how long that base has to be. And that's one of those things that I have been thinking about. Maybe that's a someday thing, right? If Bacchus, in 25, 30 years is still doing their build your own unit with the strips.
Yeah.
And I can order, 15 strips of skirmishers and a strip of command, a couple strips of officers, and then, 30, 40, maybe even 50 strips of troops. That would be a really cool thing to do. But yeah, maybe that's just because I did all those Kings of War bases for these 6mm Aztecs, but I think that'd be pretty badass to do. I did also just get a whole ton of 6mm ACW from Bacchus. My order finally came in. So once this painting challenge is over, Warmutt and I can do our ACW painting challenge, where he tries to paint up the starter for Warlord's epic nonsense, and I do the Bacchus Polemos starter.
There you go.
I still think that would be a cool comparison to do. I know that the scales are different. Well, that fucking man, look at this nonsense. Hang on a minute. I'm out here. Look at this bottle of Type Bond. Can you guys see that? Clear, full. If it's cold, they're cold too.
Yep.
Watch.
Take your adhesives inside.
Yeah, Type Bond. This is 3 too. That's the thing that pisses me off. I have a great big cylinder of Type Bond 3. There you can see it really well. That pisses me off. I can't believe I did that. Balls. Well, such is life. Bloop. You gotta be shitting me. Okay, well that's cached. I wonder if this.
So that's going to be I think that might be another topic to delve in deeper at a later time, or not just what's the best
Starter boxes?
We're talking about starter boxes, or just what we think is the best scale to do certain things in. And like I said, we can take that as next week's topic. But this week's topic is what non-standard rule do we really like?
What do you mean by non-standard rule?
So, for instance, one that I've seen quite a bit, and I think it's been mentioned here a couple of times, but when you're playing something like Market Garden or D-Day miniature game, and you want to figure out where the Allied units are landing, and let's say you're playing not chain of command, but because there's already a way to, the deployment is a certain way, but you're basically wanting to randomize your deployment. You take a small wad of paper, step back 3 to 5 feet from the table, and chuck that piece of paper onto the table, and where it lands, that's where one of the units falls. And you have a number, written on that piece of paper, and that's the number of troops that are in that, are landing at that location. And if it's in trees or on a building or near a fence, you have to roll to see if there's any wounds.
Yeah, we did that with Bolt Action a couple times. It's really fun. We wound up writing essentially printing out our army lists, cutting them up, and then throwing each wadded up ball of paper down there, not necessarily knowing which was which, because we were doing a June 6th jump scenario, right? So,
right.
Or sorry, night of June 5th jump scenario. So we had these airborne platoons that just, okay, well, and somebody got mad. They're like, well, how the hell am I supposed to know what unit I'm throwing where? It's like, you're not. That's the point. Like but this is June 5th, 1944. You have no idea where anything's going.
Exactly.
I think
that's
we need pieces of paper at the table.
Yeah, I think that's just a great. To me, that's a great way of, instead of rolling a die and seeing how far it deviates. No, just chuck a piece of paper on there. Boom, done.
Like the die and the scatter die is fun. I enjoy that also.
Yeah,
there's just a certain amount of fuckery that goes into winging paper and stuff.
Yeah. Now there is another one that you just take a die and you drop it from about 18 inches off the table.
Yep.
And wherever it bounces, that's your center point. And then you do either like a D12, or actually perfect is a single D10, because you roll it, that's how many inches, and whatever the point is in that direction. So that's another way of landing, doing an airborne landing. Now, somebody said a great way to do glider troops is literally build
paper airplanes,
make an paper airplane and chuck that onto the table.
Hell yes, I have done that a few times. We tried that with the Pegasus Bridge. Some people's I don't know if it's their paper airplane building or throwing abilities are substantially less than the ability of British and Commonwealth pilots to hold on target.
Yeah. So
we had gliders coming in. If
you overshoot, your airplane overshoots the table or undershoots the table or veers off to the left or right of the table and doesn't land on the table, guess what? Those troops aren't on the table.
Well, and that was the issue, right? Was we did it and we tried to do it exactly like that, right? Like, okay, here's this glider that's got these guys in it. And then we tried playing like, okay, if you throw it and, your airplane hits something and flips over, then your glider dumped and you're in real trouble. It was brutal. The British wound up with like 4 jacked up paratroopers with like 8 pins on them.
But that's more realistic, though.
Ish.
Yeah, but it's also not very fun for a game.
It is like, it was significantly more brutal than the actual Germans were to the paratroopers and gliders that landed near Pegasus Bridge. Like I said, it turns out my buddy Lewis is a significantly crappier glider pilot than anyone who would have been even permitted. Like, I don't think they would have let him onto the same airfield as a Horsa in the Second World
Nice.
War if they watched how that dude threw those things. Again, I'm pretty sure the RAF would have looked at him and like, why don't you go somewhere the hell else? Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause
Go
he
peddle
was-
your wares elsewhere.
Dog, he was
Um,
biffing it so badly.
Hexy, how you doing, buddy?
Hi guys.
Hey, Mr. Jeff. Mr. Jeff, how was your phone call, bud?
Hey,
Oh, awesome, man. It's always good to talk to Devin.
Dude, the Grognard is the man. I'm not disagreeing with you.
He'll
I'm a
probably
big
pop on
fan
in a second.
of the original Grognard. I think
Yeah.
we all are over here, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we're getting closer to the time where I'm going to be reaching out to him and David and Keith Tracton to see if they'll come on to the show and talk about what's coming from China. 'Cause,
I feel like they will because I feel like it's coming from China, isn't it, Jeffy?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's if it is not on the ship on its way yet, it is there at the docks. From
It
my
has been close.
understanding.
Yeah, they got to be close to it because they've been. I mean, they've already got some copies.
Yeah,
There's already guys out there taking pictures of copies and videos of copies. I think.
Yeah.
I think Kev's playing it already.
Yeah, I want to get my hot little hands on it because I definitely want to get some stuff. I want to see some challengers out there, you know.
Absolutely.
So Hexy, tonight we're talking about our favorite non-standard game rule that just takes an idea and goes wild with it. Like we were just discussing how you do for a miniature game, how you do an airdrop, and that's take a wadded up piece of paper and just chuck it at the table, and that's where that unit lands.
How about Memoir 44, where you take the paratroops and drop them on the board?
Yep.
Yeah.
Same exact idea.
There's
Yep.
a Civil War game, one of the GBACW games. I can't remember off the top of my head which one it is. Might have been one of the older ones. I don't know, but where the designers, great whatever, fought in the battle, and he's in a particular regiment on the battlefield, and if that regiment gets destroyed, they say that he is never born and the game never gets developed. So end your game right there.
Yeah. Isn't there a
stuff like that.
Russian campaign about like speaking with a Russian accent, or is that one of the SCS games?
Oh yeah, I remember reading that. Yeah. What game was that?
I don't know, but it's one that I played. I don't know if it's like Stalingrad Pocket. It doesn't seem like
It
very
is. It is.
fantastic
It's
thing to
Stalingrad
say.
Pocket. Yep.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
That's funny.
that kind of shit just gets me rolling. I enjoy the hell out of it.
I don't remember what game it was, like NATO or one of the Cold War board games, and it says if you get to the point of doing tactical nukes, or you get to the balloon goes up and the button gets pushed, just douse the board in lighter fluid and throw in a match.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, it's literally in the rule book. If you want to play with nuclear weapons, this is how you do it.
Yeah, you certainly can. But good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
That sounds like a
What
fistful of toes
are
type
you
of
painting
thing.
there, dear?
What?
What are you painting there, dear?
Nova Prime?
No problem.
Battletech, baby.
Battletech.
We're trying to finish up the stuff we got during this painting challenge. So
Is that the Gregory in the background I hear?
That is
Yeah.
great.
Yep, he's here.
I'm off to the side. I'm just listening and doing my own little painting thing.
That's the one, the only Greg. Hey, I'm gonna mute for just a second because I got to use a circular saw, and you guys don't need to hear that.
All right. So Greg and Ashley, do you have any examples of cool little rules like that, or whether they're written or you've come up with them on your own?
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, the problem is we bounced through a bunch of games, so I've run across a few things that have been interesting, but I don't know, Ash. What do you think? Really, we haven't really deviated too much. We've just tried to get the rules down. I kind of like your idea of a glider throwing it, but that's the hindrance of being into too many games, I guess. Yeah,
We bounce too much.
yeah, but it's an addiction. So
Who do I know that does that? Huh, oh, me.
Yeah, I was about to say, have you looked in a mirror there, Mr. Hexy?
I got four set up right now.
Jeff, some of them games you're putting out are really interesting to me. I just got to sneak them around to Ashley. That's all.
No more cardboard.
Well, this one right here that I'm playing, they were talking about earlier. You guys could play this game with miniatures
Really?
easily.
See, there you
So,
go.
because it's actually it's more miniature based ruling. Well, I mean, with some hex encounter depth to speak, but it's
I don't
more-
mind the hex encounters. I just want my miniatures.
She
That's,
likes-
There
she
you go.
likes the
There's one right
little
there.
that's why I have no problem doing like the Zvezda game. It's hex encounters, but I have my miniatures.
Yeah, it's the same concept.
It's boring to me just playing with cardboard.
It's not boring to me. It was actually when you first sent me Panther Battle, it was more or less okay. Trying to get used to figuring out what everything is on these little tiny shits. But that other one we got had the bigger ones, was easier to read. So, and then a lot of the ones I watched you guys put out, the maps seem to be really nice these days. Some of the shits are really nice and glossy, nicely done. So some of that stuff's pretty appealing. I just don't know if I can get Ashley to drink enough to play again. So we'll have to see.
Probably not.
But hey, you got that other one down there you scored. You got to still play.
We played it once.
She does like her miniatures. I do too, but I find those other games a bit more challenging. So, but anyways, heck, that's what we're doing. Just sitting here painting. So when we throw down more Alpha Strike and BattleTech, at least the miniatures aren't naked.
Well, that and I don't hear Brian complain.
Brian likes to give Ashley shit about if they're not painted, they don't fight as good. And, like, yeah.
Well, I've got probably about almost exactly 30 days left of probably me playing golf, and then it's pretty much hibernation time and play games.
Yeah, in the winter I'll be able to do more too. It won't be, well, depending on the storms, I don't think it'll be as intense days. You know what I mean? So.
Chuck, Nord, how are you two?
Charles is always fantastic. You know that.
Who else I missed? Who else on here? Oh, boy.
I'll say Charles has us completely beat on Brian's challenge.
Charles, we need some pictures of these damn miniatures, man. You're making us all look like chumps. What are you up to now, 100?
Pretty much.
Like, I feel like a doofus. I was all proud of my damn near 11 feet of miniatures that I have painted and based, and then Charles wanders in with, oh, you got like 100 something. Get out.
Yeah. I think Sunday it was 135 miniatures or something like that. It's like, what? Well, shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to.
No way in hell am I catching that up.
Charles is smacking the shit out of us. That's okay though. Charles took the win, man. He's there.
Do it. Take it.
He's certainly making Warmut and I look like doofuses, but that's okay.
I mean, I know a way to cheat. Go grab a bunch of grains of rice. I don't know what I would use them for. Just drop some paint on them.
See, McMurray, that's where I feel I'm okay. I'm not interested in anything. I'm just using it as a good excuse to get more done.
Amen. No, I'm not getting anything. All I get out of it is being able to laugh at Brian, which is enough.
I'm not sure. That fact, though.
Nordic, I've thought about
All
doing
the
that for a long
motivation I
time, but maybe when I get back into the system, I will.
Hell yeah. Jeff's the sleeper, man. If Jeff decided he wanted to paint, we'd all be in trouble because Jeff, A, paints very, very well, and Jeff also, B, paints very, very consistently when he does. He'll just sit down and paint, 4, 5, 6, maybe 8 figures a night for like a month. And then all of a sudden we're all sitting here like, wait, when the hell Jeff get all these miniatures painted? And oh yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. I mean, what the hell? I mean, Jesus Christ, shit everywhere.
How do you see my garage right now?
Talk about all those boxes of miniatures I just showed.
Oh.
I'm no Brian Mormut, but
You should show them the outstandingly packed box of 15 millimeter metals that you have that some kind soul sent you.
and
All
you know that I will keep those for an eternity until I eventually paint them.
I look forward to it, buddy, because I did. I got them sorted out into the exact number of figures that you need and the exact makeup of figures that you need to do good Flames of War platoons out of them.
Charles
Yeah.
says, did some painting today, 112 done, another 38 in process, only counting 15s and 28s.
Yeah, see, that's ridiculous, Charles. I'm proud of you, buddy. You're flying.
He says-
You're doing.
He says my
out-
painting
Keep it up,
skills are
Charles.
terrific, but you know what? You're getting it painted, and that counts for more than anything, in my opinion.
Yep, it is. Getting painted so that it can get onto a table and look damn fine. Because I know you're going to put it onto a table.
Because whether you paint one a week, like I'm doing right now, or you painting,
You know,
you know,
40 a week like Charles is doing right now.
yeah, as long as you're doing it, you know, and you're doing it in a fashion that you're comfortable with. That's the big thing for me. It's, you know, are you comfortable in the way that you're painting? You know, and there's nothing wrong with working with new techniques, but for me personally, anytime that I go and use a new technique and it's not the way I want it to work out, I get discouraged. So, yeah. Do paint the way that makes you feel comfortable, and you can get a lot done. Nord says, I'm convinced Chuck is really an AI synthetic human. That's how he can paint that many. No, Nord, the reason why he can paint that many is he's retired.
Yeah, he's that super duper cool thing called retired, which look good for
Yeah.
him.
Der Schutztrooper, Chuck, is he going back to finish that?
He's
Charles is
going
flying
back to
through
German East
also.
Africa. That's right up in McMurray's alley right there.
It is.
I'm amazed you didn't buy that game, McMurray.
I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it. And then I realized that it'll be around. It's not something that I need to get right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at Compass Game, they'll always have copies. So
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. I'm sure I will wind up with it. You know me. If they made Schutztruppe on the Lakes, I'd already have a copy of it, and it would be on my bedside table, and the map would be hanging on my wall. Because, problems and such. But, okay.
No, I think my problem is I get miniatures that are too complicated just to throw paint on it and then leave it.
Yep. Welcome to why I love and hate Age of Sail. I have so many 1/300 scale Age of Sail ships that are gorgeous. They're the old glory ones. I love them. They look great. But sweet mother of God, painting those goddamn things. Because each
I
one of them,
finally finished this guy off.
I like that.
it's a struggle, I'll tell you.
That's a good looking porg.
That's
I couldn't get it blended correctly, so I don't care. It's gonna go on my desk anyway, so he's done.
Yeah,
He's
well,
painted.
good enough. Well, is that a 3D print?
Yep,
or
I
did you-
found it for
okay.
free off of Colt. I'm like, yes, I've been wanting one.
She saw a little clip. She didn't realize that he got eaten.
Oh, sorry. Lord.
No, that was screwed up. Michael, he's making friends. No, he killed him.
Charles,
So I got him done. I'm almost done with my granddaughter's squirrel. I gotta base it in, because it's a flying squirrel, so I gotta figure out something for the hole. How many do I have done out of this box?
Chuck, I'm going to box
4,
up my
5.
Army Painter speed paints, but I'm going to get my Army Painter war paints down. And my Vallejo stuff is all right here.
Wait, are you giving away your war paints or your speed paints?
No. I'm going to box up my speed paints, and I might give those to a kid at work.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my war paints out in case
Okay,
I
there
decide
you
to
go.
paint. Because my Vallejos are the box kits for like U.S. infantry.
Yeah. Vallejo does that. That's like their bread and butter to a certain extent, and they do it so well.
Yeah.
Henry Turner Miniatures.
Hell yeah.
Did you see a Facebook post he posted this evening?
No.
He's getting ready to drop his Kickstarter on his World War II Wehrmacht stuff.
Yep. For
And
1940.
in the title of the thing, he's got the color scheme for painting Wehrmacht using non-mixed speed paints, just speed paints straight.
Oh, nice. There you go. That sounds like what you did.
What I did that for the Russians, right?
Yeah. Well, you did it for the Germans too, but you made a video out of the Russian stuff.
Oh yeah, you're right. I wish I could have kept that list for the Germans. I don't know what to do with it.
What'd you do with it?
I hid it. It's in one of my notebooks.
Oh, you can figure that out.
Oh, I found my second utility remote. I woke
Utility
up this morning,
like.
and I looked over to my curtains in my bedroom, and something in my brain said, "You should look on the window ledge." So I walked over there, lifted the curtain up, and there it was, sitting on the window ledge. I've been bitching about that since I moved in here.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
Well, my buddy that came up to help, he hung those curtains in there. And I didn't remember setting that remote when I was putting the TV over there. Both the remotes were together. And I set that down on the windowsill.
So I'm also working on getting this going for my granddaughter. I showed y'all last week. It's finally dried and in position, so it's not gonna.
What is that?
fall apart on me. That is the bow part of
Titanic?
RMS Titanic.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Titanic. I got it. Okay.
Where's
That's
the
pretty
girl
awesome.
and the guy standing on the front rail?
Yeah. Where's the flying lady?
I'll have to 3D print those. Hey, speaking of the original Grognard,
There he is.
how you doing, Devin? How you doing, buddy?
What scale is that ship, Chris?
It's 1/700 scale. So here's the hull. It's pretty damn big.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Give you an idea, here is this is Typhoon class Soviet ballistic missile sub. This is the Titanic in the same scale.
Wait, is the Typhoon 1/700 or 1/600?
They're both 1/700.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Yeah, absolutely. People don't give those big liners enough credit. Like that, there's a reason that they were used for, like Operation what's it called? Magic Carpet.
Yeah.
Like, there's like I think it was Queen Mary that could transport 15,000 troops at a time.
Yep.
Jesus.
Also give you another comparison.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
Here's USS Texas in 1700,
So hot. Want to touch the hiney.
and that's the Titanic. So, yeah. Pretty fucking big. No. But yeah, I'm building the Titanic for my granddaughter. It's going to be her Christmas present.
That's cool.
So, because, like I said last week, she is a huge fan of the history of the Titanic. Not the movie. I'm sure she likes the movie also, but the actual history of the Titanic, she's all about. So I thought that was pretty cool. Devin, need to reach out to you and see when we can get you and David and Keith Tracton on the show to talk about what's coming over from China. Obviously, I'm most enthused about World at War 85, Blood and Fury, but there's a couple others coming over from China as well at the same time that I think have some folks that would be interested in. So, yeah, if you would, talk to David and say, hey, when do you want to show up? That'd be great. Hey, hold on there, Ashley. Let me embiggen you here. Oh, those are looking
I
good.
got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more out of this box, but
Those are looking real good. I like the purple dude. Is that an Atlas?
yep, that's Atlas.
She's painting them to
The cards.
And this is part of a system, right?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
men-
The one they don't have that I wish they did in that box was Mad Cat.
I think we got Mad Cat up in the new box, I believe.
Because
that's the Kickstarter.
The Kickstarter box.
yeah. Now is this from Catalyst, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
box
I
here.
believe
was,
that's him.
Mercenaries.
Nope, that's not Mad Cat. Mad Cat looks like the nose of a B-25.
This one?
No, still not the right one.
Thought I saw Mad Cat in here.
Check something.
No, that's
here.
Firefly. Nope, I guess they don't.
Mad Cat Battle Tech. Also known as the Timberwolf.
Oh, I have Timberwolf. That's why it sounded familiar. I'm like, I know I've seen Mad Cat. I have it in the 28 and 100.
There you go. There you go. Hold on. Let me keep him there. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes. Love that one. That's my all-time favorite mech. Because it's got the big ass guns in the arms, and then
Yeah. Stupid me
tons
didn't
of
think about it. With this one, I went and put wash in it. With the big one, I ended up painting every single line in black.
yeah.
But yeah, I did those. We got him out of the Kickstarter.
Yeah. That's
But yep,
my all-time
Greg
favorite.
lost him, so he's sitting on my desk now.
The other thing is the thing about BattleTech though is I like that style of a mech. I don't like the mech that look like giant robots, humanoids. I like the ones that look like vehicles. That's just me though. Charles has found my water bottle when I sat on it and squished it. Good thing it wasn't very full. I'll worry about dry clothes later. There you go. Speaking of water, I've been drinking between 120 and 140 ounces of water at work every day. And I have not had to pee more in the history of my life than I do now. It's like I'm peeing like Jeffy does on a regular basis.
Jeffy does do some peeing.
Devin, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. That'd be great if you would come on and just hop on and paint with us. That'd be great. Let's see.
Yeah, sorry, I'm crunching.
That's okay. Nord says he takes a Death Scythe Gundam. Gundams are cool too, and for whatever reason I'm okay with the Gundams being robot-like, and I guess that's because they're Japanese and that's what they do. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
What do you mean? That's what they do? Be weird as shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So funny, when we first started Gamers with Coffee, we got invited to a convention up here, and a group had tons of Gundams. This little kid, I don't know, probably what, maybe 10, 11 years old, came up right next to us, and when we were looking at him, and they're like, "Oh, Transformers!" Oh my God, those people got so pissed off at this child for calling them Transformers. I'm like, well, kind of, technically.
Yep. Do they transform from one type of thing to another type of thing? Well, yeah. Then it's Transformers. Shut up.
Yeah, no shit. Show me the fucking Gundam that's cool enough to be a goddamn 18-wheeler or a monster truck.
Right.
Snooty ass out of here.
Or a cassette tape.
Show me the Gundam that hangs out with Megan Fox. Good luck.
I don't know. I think they took the Transformers a little too far.
He was just a kid. He didn't know. But the whole table got really upset. I was like, hey,
it's just a child.
Yeah, and let's be honest. What you're doing is playing with
toys.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get technical, all this is all toys. Yeah. So it's like I can't get mad when the granddaughter wants to go and play with something that, I've painted. That's all they are, giant toys.
Yep.
They don't understand.
Just thought it was rude, like here's a kid, you could maybe get him interested in modeling.
I'm the same way still today.
And all they did was jump in for it.
Oh, getting excited about playing with toys?
I love toys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. So.
Can that count as one of my unusual rules that I like? If
what is it?
Sounds, you get a bonus.
Sure, absolutely.
Because I've done a number of those. There's that. There's if you wear the hat, you get a bonus. There's all kinds of fun stuff you can go with.
Oh yeah, your pirate game.
Yeah. Yeah.
McMurray, you have a pirate hat.
Hang on a sec. Just a sec. Pilot holes are dumb. Anyways, hell yeah, dude. We played an entire linked campaign at what was that? Battles and Brews 2 years ago. That was 3 linked pirate games. The first one we played was Limeys and Slimies. The second one was Fistful of Lead, just straight core Fistful of Lead. And the third one was Bigger Battles. And yeah, when you killed your first guy, you got a hat. And then when you killed 5 guys, you got a little inflatable cutlass. Yeah, see, there's Chris's hat and Chris's cutlass. He did good.
Nice.
And the feather.
And the feather, yeah.
Nice.
Because every few guys you killed after that, you got, or what was it? If you killed a character, you got a feather for your hat.
Yeah, if you killed one of the characters, you got a feather. So hold on.
Yeah, dude. And if you didn't wear your hat and your full pirate stuff, then you took penalties. Just like you could get, what was it, Chris? You got a +1 in close combat for going "R" and dumb shit like that. Yeah, dude. Just like you did better in Eat Hitler if you made dinosaur noises.
Yar,
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. And the best part is somebody even pointed that out. Like, well, how do you even know what dinosaurs sound like? How do you know what they didn't sound like? Maybe they sound like the dude from Big Lebowski. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Tell me what dinosaurs did or didn't sound like. Good luck. Those are always fun. That's why I like doing the Victorian sci-fi stuff, because who the hell is going to tell me what they did or didn't sound like?
Right.
Or, that's not very realistic. Bruh, we're flying around on boats made of liftwood. Get the fuck out of here. It's not realistic. You're right.
There you go.
Yeah, see, there you go. Chris has his headgear from Eat Hitler, 'cause he did well at that, too. Although
my granddaughter would get a kick out of that.
The headgear was required for Eat Hitler because it required a certain amount of fancy just to play the game.
Yeah, because you
play
can't.
as a dinosaur trying to eat time-traveling Nazis.
Yeah, you can't take that shit seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you shouldn't take any of this seriously. It's a game.
Correct. But yeah, actually, that's where all this came from with the pirates or with the pirate hats and the inflatable cutlasses and everything else, because I had people taking stuff too seriously. So at the first March to Victory, I put on a bunch of games of Eat Hitler where everybody had to wear a pirate hat or had to wear a dinosaur hat. And then it worked.
You had your GM dinosaur hat.
I did, which is like a motorcycle helmet style thing.
Nice.
And it worked. It kept people who were going way too seriously away from it. And everybody who did play was in the mindset that we're here to have fun. We're going to have fun. That's the end of this.
Well,
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And then it worked out super duper well with Pirates too, because people got a little more into it with Pirates than they did with the dinosaur hats, which was impressive. But yeah.
I think it's badass.
All right,
As long as you have fun, that's all that matters. That's the whole point in gaming. I hate when people take it so seriously that they get butthurt.
You mean like you yelling at Keegan?
Yeah, like Keegan.
Yeah, I wasn't going there. I wasn't the one going to say it.
Keegan's not listening, but sometimes you get a little feisty.
Those are the prime moments of live filming your gaming.
Oh, I'm not saying I won't do it again and again and again and again.
I had somebody tell me that's why he's got so many dice. He throws them.
He does. He ends up throwing them and can't find them.
Excuse me.
But
he's okay. He just gets a little too.
it's part of the game. You end up losing. There's nothing wrong with that. We did our little walkthrough on this, and I was kicking Greg's ass the first 2 rounds. Nope. After that, I kind of got screwed.
She got all confident, Jeff.
I got cocky.
I put that blank down over the BattleTech maps. And we were writing on it, and Ashley writes on her side, winner. And then she lost.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm like, I got this. I got it.
You about
Yeah.
killed me, but it just turned around on you. That's all.
All it took was one hit from behind. That's all it took.
So, yeah, I've always enjoyed McMurray's games because of shit like that. Just, and he always does goofy shit anyway. Like we played a Civil War game last Weird War at Wiley's last October, and it was Civil War, but the Confederacy.
Talking about the Revenge of Headstone Jackson?
Yeah. The Confederacy had zombies and vampires and werewolves. Oh my! And a giant fucking catfish in the river. You know,
Yeah,
it went-
the Confederacy needed to solve their manpower problem, so they went back to the manpower they had the first time around.
Exactly. So, I mean, and, we've got a buddy, Mike Burke, who would not have played that game if it had been a straight up Civil War game. Because he doesn't like historical games. He doesn't like straight up historical miniatures or anything like that. But because it had
twist to it?
Yeah, it had the zombies and the whatnot. He absolutely got down with it and had a blast with it. So gotta know your audience when it comes to putting games together to play. Oh. Okay, good. Yeah, I took the dinosaur
as
hat
long
off.
as you have fun, that's all that matters. I mean, with a couple of our shift games, Greg bought me the Kraken that I painted up, and we ended up adding that to it, or even just putting it in the middle for look.
Yeah.
You get close enough to, you sail too close, guess what? It's gonna eat you.
Yep. Chris, did you get eaten by the Kraken in Limeys and Slimies?
No, I did not.
I'm sorry, in Fistful of Lead, those all played a role in my Fistful of Lead game. I had a Kraken, there were some dolphins that were acting like assholes, some sharks.
What do you mean acting?
Okay, that's fair. They were being assholes.
Oh, by Kraken? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get eat.
Here, McMurray.
Is it the Reaper? Oh no, that's a big ass Kraken. There you go. That's awesome. It looks like the Lord of the Rings Wanderer in the Deep or whatever it is.
Yeah. No, I did get assailed by the.
It's 3D printed.
Nice.
This thing is what, 5 years now? 4?
That's
awesome. So looks good on it.
It scales down to the ship, so a little bigger. So when you throw it on there, it's just something that you can put on there.
Yeah.
I'm bailing on you guys. Gonna go crash time.
All right,
Jeffy's, it's good to see you, buddy.
Great evening.
Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it, buddy.
See y'all.
Take care.
Yeah.
Sir.
No, I didn't get eaten by the Kraken. I did, however, get mesmerized by the mermaids.
Yeah, I did paint up a bunch of mermaids with their boobs out that were mesmerizing pirates left, right, and center, except for the lady pirates. Only the one. Only the one lady pirate could get mesmerized by the mermaids.
Or sirens.
Sirens, yeah. But then I also I painted up a giant. I painted up a giant parrot that I found at Michael's.
Well, that sucked.
So that I could tell people they were getting attacked by macaque.
Yeah, your giant macaque.
Yeah. That was fun. We did there was a great big gorilla that was running around attacking people. And in the Bigger Battles game, the whole objective was you had to capture the treasure, which had been previously captured by cannibals. And Chris, did you play the cannibals?
Yeah, I played the cannibals.
Yeah, so Chris was able to just randomly pop up these guys that didn't last very long.
Oh God, no.
But he could just randomly pop up these dudes with like blow darts who would just spring out of some woods, blow dart the shit out of some pirates,
and then get murdered.
Blow dart. Are you talking about like the things from like the Mummy where they're in the woods and they got to run from them?
I don't know. They're just like generic pulp crap fantasy, like cannibal
little
guys.
like alien looking things.
No. Little like pygmy looking guys.
Yeah.
Like think Africa Screams, like Abbott and Costello Africa Screams, that kind of stuff. But either way, just goofy, fun little stuff that makes things more interesting. What is it? That's one of Howard Whitehorse's games. His caveman game, Chris, has a whole lot similar to the Paradrops, because the shooting in that game is determined by you throwing a wadded up piece of paper at your opponent from like 5 to 10 feet away. And if you hit them, you hit them. But if they're behind cover in the game, then they can stand behind like a chair.
Right.
It's pretty fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that kind of nonsense. That's my jam.
You know, that's a big reason why I got out of playing 40K, is because people were just taking it too damn seriously, right?
I mean, it's a game that's built to be taken seriously, which is its own.
Yeah,
barrel of
40K can be a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, it's built as a competitive tournament game. That's how they sell models. That's how they sell rules. Like, whatever, man. It just, you got to be able to, like, the issue is that half the time 40K gamers don't want to admit that. They want to argue about it. It's like there's nobody's shitting all over your game because of that. It just means that some people don't want to play it. That's all. Like, 40K gamers don't necessarily always like playing games where you can't list build and, go ham with that stuff. That's fine.
Right.
Who gives a shit? Don't do it then. But some people find it a little easier to say, okay, I'm not going to do that then than others. That's okay. That's okay. We can get along with most gamers.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I'll
As
say with
long as
us,
they're
the
not-
40K stuff, we don't follow the lore.
So some of it you have to, but we don't know everything about it. To put it that way.
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll
There
happen.
we go.
Basically, until I can play with dollar store dinosaurs, I'm not super duper interested. It happens. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay, why
40K
didn't-
community, don't cancel Chris's podcast, 40K, or Chris's show, 40K community. I know you're thinking about it. I can hear him just seething and foaming at the mouth right now.
Don't
It's not
care.
necessary, guys. Don't do it.
Nord says are pretty good. I've found 40K diehards tend to ruin historical games when they come into play. The ones I've encountered bringing these tournament mindset and powerless mindset that ruins the fun.
Yeah.
I've run into that a number of times, whether it's with. That was why I first stopped playing Blood and Plunder. And I didn't realize that the guys that I play Blood and Plunder with now are kind of the same way. But that's okay. I'm just not going to play in the tournament with them. That's all. Which is fine.
Yeah.
So I'm working that day anyways, but they're still capable of playing fun games on a weekly basis.
So to answer Nordic there, we don't take it that serious. We play 40K, but we play dozens of other games too. So I've been wanting to do more towards the historical stuff. But I'm not interested in it. So.
It's just I'm not. I rather do the sci-fi stuff.
Although I think, if you're going to bring a mindset of you're just going to do it that way, then no matter what you play, you're going to ruin it. You got to just, like we were saying, just got to have some fun. But I've encountered some gatekeepers, boy. And they'll sit there and look at your model and tell you, Chris, like, oh, you used da-da-da paint. Like, they know the paint you used, what you did to it, and that's great. But I just painted my models because I wanted to paint them and I wanted to game with them. So,
Wait,
We don't
in historical wargaming you've hit that?
huh?
You hit that in historical wargaming or in 40K?
No, in the 40K world,
Oh, yeah, okay.
it's almost cult-like, but
Correct.
it is. But then there are other games where it's almost cult-like too.
I think almost every game has at least one person that's like that. Doesn't matter what game it is.
Well, that's why he's not playing it either. So We just play to have fun, you guys. We don't. Clint got me started in that years ago by giving
Fucking
me space.
Smurfs.
He gave, actually called them Smurfs. He gave me the space.
Poster boys.
Hey. And so, the little group, right? We sold quite a bit of ours off. I just got basically with Combat Patrol or maybe a little more. And we do smaller games when we get the chance, but
it's all just against each other.
Yeah, it's not really. I don't want to go tournament in anything because I'm just not a tournament player, McMurray. I would be like, nah.
And see, I can't even necessarily entirely say that. I've played in tournaments. I've had a great time playing in tournaments. I used to love playing bolt action tournaments because it was just a good group of guys that we'd play with. Just like when I would play in old Flames of War tournaments with like Chris Kofelt. It was fun. They were good guys. They were never super crazy tournaments. That was probably why. But yeah.
It was a different crowd though. Flames of War guys.
It is. And that's my point.
Yep.
That's my point is that tournaments are usually at the core of the issue, but they're not always like you can do tournaments in a non-ridiculous and unfun manner. It's just a whole lot harder.
Yeah, in other games they don't change as much. Like I think I mentioned before, like Star Wars X-Wing, they did one update in like 10 years, and they had to because it's Star Wars, and they needed to incorporate the Force at that somewhere. But they didn't go crazy with it. Whereas Warhammer's been out like 35 years, right? But it's in the last several years they've done a lot of updates. I mean, I started a little bit playing in 7th edition, then 8 came out and started that, then 9th, and then 10th, and I'm like, I can't keep up with. And even though we're a gaming group, we've decided that's it. We'll just stop with 10th.
Yeah, we're not buying no more.
It seems to work really well compared to their other editions. And so when they come out with 11 and 12 or whatever,
that's the wild thing, right? Because it was. I think, when did 40K start? 1985?
Something like that. 85 or 87.
And I started playing in 2000 or 2001, and they were on 3rd edition. So it's not like, it's just they put one out every 5 years.
No, but now they have, in the last 5-6 years, they put out 3 editions.
Yeah, that's my point, is that all of a sudden you get, like I said, and you know what? That's how they sell models. That's how they, whatever, man. If that's their business model, that's their business model. I'm just not super duper going to get after it. That's all.
Yep. And I like their models. They are really good quality models. So. But
shit, man.
But they change it so much.
I have no idea what the hell's going on. There's a shitload of crickets in my house. What is this nonsense?
There's a shit ton of crickets in my backyard.
Like in my basement. This has never been an issue in the past. I wonder if there's something weird about this year, or if I just haven't sprayed it as much or enough stuff, or what. Huh. Maybe it's one of those years that I got to go around the center kind of pillar of my house inside and spray the whatever the repellent, like the peppermint nonsense is.
Don't worry, right. Mark says he doesn't know anything about those, so you should be okay. He swears.
Yeah, the one thing the post office does get to you is the box of crickets I sent.
Oh, perfect.
Hey, I like your guys throwing that game there, man. I thought that was.
See, that's good. It's good to hear that. So I think Todd got a little discouraged because there were certainly some people who didn't really like it.
Oh yeah, I seen the comments, but oh well.
Which is one of those get fucked. We tried giving those games away. We tried selling those games.
They kept coming back.
There's a reason that we did that. Obviously, somebody's like, you could have just sold these. You think we would have done this if we could have gotten money out of it? Get out of here, man. What are you thinking? Obviously, we tried selling them. But MedWars, both of them, by the time we got done with them, we tried to give away both of them and had, their extended time on the free to a good home tables at game days, various places and everything. And it's one of those, sometimes people just don't want something, and at least we weren't just throwing it away.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you.
I
There's,
thought, all right, man. I wonder what kind of crap's going to be in the comments when you burn a game.
and you know what? It
Yeah.
wasn't as negative as it could have been.
It could have been a lot worse. I was surprised they were polite about it at least.
Yeah, I was half expecting like there to just be some sort of weird cult following from Medwar, Sicily that was just, howling for Todd and Mai's blood. But luckily that wasn't the case, which makes sense because that game's crap. But that game is a special variety of what are you like? What was Richard Berg? What the hell, man? You are a prolific game designer. What happened? Like, you don't make all your games like this. If you made all your games like this, your name would carry a very, very different connotation or standing to it. Like, if this is how Richard Berg consistently made games, Richard Berg would be a meme, not a guy everybody's heard of.
Doug's in the house. Hey, Bunkhouse.
Hey, Mr. Monkhouse.
He
Mr.
says, I
Bunkhouse
haven't played
has been
40K
painting like
in
crazy too.
That's a good thing. He says, I haven't played 40K in years because the local players took the game too seriously. The War Machine
yeah.
of Words 2 second edition players are just as bad. Oh, absolutely. And he says also, hello, everyone. Charles says, haven't gotten my dinosaurs into a game yet, but someday soon. They're about 5 inches tall. There you go, buddy.
Charles, do you have any? You got 28s. Put them in there, man. Get them going with some Wily stuff, bud.
Yeah.
Like, dinosaurs work great with, Might and Melee, all those things. What is it? What is it in Monsters, Chris? The third book, Monsters and Mazes.
It is Monsters and Mazes.
Yeah, it's
right
Monsters and Mazes. But my point is that works great with dinosaurs too. Like, there's all kinds of fantastic options for dinosaurs with Wily stuff. Big fan. Get after it. Highly encouraged.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's got actually dinosaurs in here.
I was about to say, I think there's at least one, or certainly, we talked about, okay, you can use like a dragon or a worm, like WYRM.
Yeah, he's got dragons in here.
And you just use them without, like, breathing fire and flying, and boom, you have a T-Rex, right? It's pretty fun, man. I've had every time I've played Wily with dinosaurs, it's been pretty wildly, fantastically fun. We do. I've done Victorian dino hunts, like think Lost World type stuff, but then all of a sudden Professor Challenger's like, no, fuck these things. Bang, bang. It's fun. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you got the worm here, and it's got his traits are Deadly Strike, Heavy Armor, Large, Regeneration, and Serpentine Body. Well, you can get rid of the regeneration and the Serpentine Body.
And there you are. Congratulations, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You got
What?
your live-
I heard T-Rex.
Yeah.
We're using T-Rex in the game.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're talking about T-Rexing Wily games, like bringing the Tyrannosaur himself, the king of the Thunder Lizards, to your game table, utilizing Monsters and Mazes by Jay Wiley, the third in the fantasy series, also known as Super Dope, as the youth would say.
Scalgerman says that it came out in 87.
Okay, there you go, 87.
Yeah, Rogue Trader, Warhammer 40,000, 87.
That officially predates me, so I get a pass on that one. Sorry, guys.
Charles says crickets are good luck. Just ask Mulan.
Ask who?
Mulan.
Oh, I thought you said Milan, like the Italian city. I was like, are the Italians big cricket people or what? Okay. But no, you meant Mulan, like the
Disney Princess Mulan.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, in China, crickets are considered Holy? Lucky, yeah.
Wait, holy?
They're
Yeah,
worship.
Worship crickets, do they?
They're lucky.
Oh, lucky.
I
Okay.
thought you
yeah.
accidentally got them in the food. If you didn't, you were lucky.
No, that's
Well, I
Taiwan.
say, holy might be taking it away. God damn. But all right, let's see here. We can keep this side. These two should be 15 millimeter World War II. Sweet mother of Christ, Todd. I got so much stuff from Todd, you guys. I feel terrible. He just like unloaded all kinds of cool shit on me. Like,
Is it time to do another? Is it time to do another walk through the gaming horde of McMurray?
No, it is. God, no, it's not. That'd be embarrassing. Because McMurray's currently trying to semi-clean up. But Todd, he just unloaded, man. Like, so he's got, just oodles and oodles and oodles of 15s. And now McMurray has oodles and oodles and oodles of 15s. And I mean a ridiculous number, man. It's wild as shit. Very nice man. But he is a big fan of the occasional purge, as it were. And so, like here, it's okay, there's Crossfire. Those are super cool World War II rules. Oh, there is the Crossfire expansion. Hit the dirt. So scenarios, super duper cool. What's under that, you ask? Printed Fistful of Lead 3. Or Fistful of Toes 3. Damn it, Todd. Under there is quite literally every Flames of War book I did not previously have. Every.
Well, that was nice.
Flames of War 2nd and 3rd edition book I did not previously have. I know it sounds like I said a whole lot of 2nd and 3rd edition Flames of War books. And that's just this box. There's a whole bunch of Wiley counters and tokens and rulers or measuring tapes from when we were from our project doing a whole bunch of World War IIs. Okay, and then in this one, here is every bolt action theater book that I did not have. And an extra oh no, Todd kept that one. Todd kept his copy of Paul's book. Which is good. And that's good and fair, and I'm happy that he did that. I pointed it out to him specifically so that he would.
Sounds like a pretty decent haul, though, sir.
Toddy's a wonderful fucker, like the best of people. And I'm happy I know him. I wish he had kept this stuff, but that's okay. Give it a few years and he'll have it back. It's still Todd. I don't know. Well, no, the lease can run in reverse because the lease is run in reverse with a good number of Hex Encounter games. For what I think Todd might have really enjoyed Bigger Battles, though, and Starfighters, because those two were stuck together in the box, which probably had something to do with the excessive heat they were exposed to, but I'm just going to go ahead and assume he's got a preternatural fondness for Bigger Battles and Starfighters. Chris, at some point in time, we got to do this Weird War Battlesuit Alpha also.
With mechs
War-
and what? Oh,
World
yeah,
War
yeah,
II.
yeah. Yeah.
So if we want to use like Dust mechs, that's fine, or Conflict 47 mechs or whatever. But as long as it's, something, because I don't actually have any Dust or Conflict 47 mechs, but I have some that I 3D printed for 15s so that we can play with Flames of War stuff. Because Lord knows we both have more than enough 15 millimeter World War II. Or if you don't
Right.
have any, you can have half my stuff, and then we'll both have more than enough 15 millimeter World War II.
You know what, McMurray? It seems like there's a little bit of interest in stuff, coming back around.
It is.
People seem to be talking about it, a little more like it's getting a little bit of a pick me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's actually a thing again. Because for a long time it wasn't. Who didn't Battlefront buy Dust? I think the people who own Flames of War.
I don't remember. I know my friend Clint has a whole bunch of the original stuff.
Yeah, it's super cool stuff too.
Yeah, and he just doesn't have no one to play it with. But he still has it.
Was Dust the one that had the M4 Sherman on 4 legs?
I think 6, but yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That is the correct one. It had the less ridiculous or less fantasy. It was more diesel punk as opposed to like Conflict 47 having a little bit more of the occult stuff that the little German corporal was really into. Like if you're thinking about like vampires and nonsense, that's Conflict 47. If you're thinking about diesel punk stuff, so tanks with legs, that's Dust.
Okay.
And I realize that's not the greatest of all dividers, but as a general rule of thumb, that's a good way to tell between the two.
Yeah, it gets the job done.
Yeah. Again, it's a imperfect system, but it is a good rule of thumb if you're just trying. If you're looking at figures and going, man, I don't know if these are Dust or Conflict 47. If they're werewolves and vampires and shit, they're Conflict 47.
Nora has a question. Hey, McMurray, did you see the post earlier about a Russian YouTuber taking Todd's YouTube name?
Wait, what?
No. What?
A Russian YouTuber took Wardrobe Plays World War II? Or is this some sort of hilarious troll?
I don't know. I'm just reading what it says here. Scala Gremlin says, when it comes to 40K, I'm still pissed about the 1993 vehicle manual. I pre-ordered it. It arrived the same day as that month's White Dwarf magazine announcing that second edition would be dropping next month.
Yep.
Yeah, that was always the thing, just being a kick in the junk. Bunkhouse says, I quit 40K back when 8th edition was coming out. I only got into 5th edition, but those days I'm too busy with being a single dad to game as much as I would like.
Yep. Fighting a good fight, Doug. You keep it up, buddy.
Yeah, I thought Dust was the one that was more fantasy than K-47. Aren't the Cthulhu figures in Dust?
There might be Cthulhu in Dust. That's a good point. I don't know. I was just going off of the stuff that I've seen from Warlord with all the the Germans have the werewolves and all that nonsense. I don't know. There very well might be more stuff like that in Dust. I know that there were several editions of it. Good Lord.
So, Nordic says it's wardrobe paint something.
Oh, okay.
I thought
who
it
knows,
sounded
man?
but it's not.
Maybe Todd's getting spoofed by the commies, man. You never know.
Yep.
That sounds like an issue that he has to resolve with the Kremlin, dog.
Yeah.
That's okay. He can bring the diplomatic might of the American lighting industry right down on their heads. And that just sounds like something straight out of Doctor Strangelove. So, yeah.
That is a great movie, by the way.
That beyond stellar line about, but then you're going to be answerable to the Coca-Cola company.
Yep. That's just, there's no fighting in the war room.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do that shit. That's amazing.
And George C. Scott just played such an amazing character.
So, I didn't realize that they filmed that entire movie telling him that it was a serious movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's phenomenal.
Absolutely. He played it great the entire way through.
It explains everything and also makes it hilarious at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Here's arguably our biggest actor that we have in this thing, which is impressive given the other list of actors, especially given what James Earl Jones would go on to do. But at the time, he was just a random kid. But And then here's this guy who's, you know, a titan of movies at the time. Yeah, just tell him it's serious. Like, you can imagine being like the production assistant that was leading George C. Scott on about how that movie was supposed to go.
Yeah.
Be goddamn terrifying. I'd shit my pants. Like, you mean I gotta lie to that guy? What? Yeah, I don't know. That'd be something else. Something else.
Well, I mean, you know, it's Stanley Kubrick, so.
Well, it's Stanley Kubrick, but there still has to be some kid who's like, you know, consistently telling.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's, you know, you're working for Stanley Kubrick.
That's reasonable. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. What are you supposed to tell Kubrick? No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, because, I mean, let's be honest. We didn't actually land on the moon. They hired Kubrick to do it, and he insisted on filming on location.
Exactly. Like, Neil Armstrong was just a real.
Oh, and we lost him. Son of a bitch. Hold on.
Give him a second. He'll pop back in.
Yeah. I don't think he was talking trash about Neil. I think he was talking about Neil. What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Method acting. There you go. So, which one are you working on there, Ashley?
Wrath.
Wrath. Let me pull up. I want to see what they look like.
You got the card. Oh, she's showing you the card.
Okay. Yeah, it's still a humanoid style battle mech, and like, looks like this Saturday I'm gonna be. My wife and I are gonna be only about an hour or two south of you guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're going up where my great grandfather is buried in Lee County, northeast of Keokuk.
Keokuk's actually not that far from us.
Oh, yeah, it's about just under 2 hours from where I live, and it is, like I said, northwest of Keokuk. Actually, almost more north than northwest. We're a little west of Fort Madison is where I'm going to be, almost due west of West Point. And just a little bit south. It's mile marker 24 on US 61.
Well, what town? What town is it in?
It's not in a town. It's out in the middle of right now. This year, it's in the middle of a soybean field. Last year, it's in the middle of a cornfield.
Make the crops.
Yeah. So
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure where it's at, so you just try to GPS it from that point to, say, Cedar Rapids. You'll get a rough.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not 61. It's US 218. Let's see. Let's add a stop.
So it's out by Riverside.
Sure.
It's probably just slightly
About an hour out.
It's
It's off of 218.
So hour and 25 minutes south of Cedar Rapids. Is what it's telling me.
Oh, that's not far out. We can try to meet you somehow. Let's say hi.
What's crazy is, an hour and that's almost. Let's see. You're about halfway between Missouri and the Minnesota border. There in Cedar Rapids. We're total time from where I live to Cedar Rapids is like, with stops, probably like 3.5 hours. That's
You must be right off the border.
Yeah, I live. Do you know where Quincy, Illinois is, or Hannibal, Missouri?
I've driven through it.
Yeah, we're 45 minutes southeast of Hannibal on the Mississippi River. My house is basically 3 miles from the Mississippi River in the middle of a cornfield. Hey, how you doing, Chris Long? Eh? He says, "Hey, all. How you doing,
What
sir?"
about?
Yeah, I need to. I'm sure Cedar Rapids has got some decent enough hotel rooms. Need to come up and visit you guys. I would say you could come this way, but we got shit for nothing when it comes to places to stay.
There's not really much here in CR. I mean, Iowa City
Yeah,
has a decent
I would say
area.
well, Cedar Rapids has a lot of very nice hotels, and if you're going to want a very nice hotel at a good price, look up the Kirkwood College
Yeah.
Hotel. What it is it's a training hotel, so the rooms are like 5-star type rooms, and then and then it's training staff, and even the chefs in the kitchen and stuff, and it's cheap. It's right by the airport. It's hugely popular. But they got a ton of really high end hotels if you want a nice room, or they got junk ones. But
oh yeah. I don't think anything will be as
Why
bad
is
as
Greg
that
first?
Oh, walkabout, you mean?
Because he keeps the best for last.
Wow, I got that was good. I'm sorry. Nordic said that, McMurray got dropped talking about the moon landing thing, so I just had to put my comment in there, Chris. But they didn't boot me, but they booted McMurray.
So she's been fed. She's just wanting into my room so she can get up into my closet and hang out. The problem is when she comes down out of the closet, she lands into the middle of all my shit.
She wants attention.
Oh yeah. She lands down in the middle of that.
He felt sorry for you. Yes, I win again. It's okay, babe. Maybe eventually someone will say hi to you first.
It's because you got that really cool pink toolbox I bought you. Do you see that there, Chris?
Yeah, it is cool.
It's a little mini pink cobalt toolbox.
Oh, nice.
And got over paint stuff in it. You should show them, Ash, when you're done painting.
No. His battery must have died.
Probably.
Oh well, it happens. But we're going to be wrapping up for the evening anyway. We're coming up right at 2 hours in. So
There you go.
like I said previously, guys. What's that?
I said thank you for having us on, sir.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime we're doing the show and y'all are around wanting to, just sitting there painting and, send me a message and say, hey, we're here. Drop us a link. I'll send it over to you guys.
Oh, cool.
So,
Well, we appreciate it.
um,
But in the show, the Nat works at 10 o'clock here, so.
yeah,
Oh,
it's,
shit. Yeah, it is. Holy hell.
I did get painting done, though.
I didn't realize it was that late already. I don't want to go to work.
yeah, God, neither do I. So, like I said before, though, guys, out there in texture world, if there's something in particular you want to see me paint on in the videos, let me know. Like I said, I'm going to do at least one of these Germans for the following week. I've got Krennic dropping this week from Rogue One. He's dropping this week. The Germans will come out next week, and then I'm going to do an F-16, an F-15, and an A-10 for the 3 following weeks. That gets us mid-October. So if there's something that y'all want to see, let me know. Drop it into the comments on the video or here. I can paint some air real easy. It's a simple stuff. So anyway,
before you leave, Chris, when you're done painting all those other ones, and I agree with Nick Murray, you should go ahead and pursue that because you got all those views, right? So you may as well go with that. But if you're going to paint any kind of airplanes, see if you can either come up with 3D print or paint the Red Baron's plane from World War One. That'd be
cool. Absolutely, I could do that.
I say everyone knows who that
Everybody
is.
knows him. It's an iconic historical figure, and the other planes are awesome too. But I mean, still, it's the Red Baron.
Yeah. Actually, hold on one second. Let me find it here. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. I still have to base him, but here's my Frodo. There you go. Wanted to see me paint an invisible creature, Nord. There you go. There's my Frodo.
Oh, I'm like, huh?
I
still need to do the basing, but there you go.
Bunkhouse is right. They those fans of that group would do the Red Baron if you can, Chris. That's just
actually I know exactly where to go to get the STL for the Red Baron. So yeah, that'll be easy.
Ooh, that's something we could do, babe.
What?
Pick 2 miniatures of the exact same and let them choose who paints better, me or you.
Oh, no, you just want to humiliate me live on the air. That's all.
You pick. If you want.
You do pretty detailed work. It's all good.
Pretty detailed? Thanks, babe.
She's getting cocky again, Chris.
Because I'll paint you and people like me better.
See, yeah.
It happens, brother. It happens.
It happens. But yeah, if you throw that in your mix of planes, I think go through your list like you were. But I'd top it off with the Red Baron because regardless, that'd be like icing on the cake if you're gonna do the other. That's my idea. See if it works for it.
So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for everybody for dropping in tonight. It's you guys are the best audience out there. And I know I'm not the only show that y'all watch. There are others out there, but if your other shows don't tell you this, I will. You guys are the best, and I appreciate it. You're here every week, and it's good stuff. I appreciate it. So we're on the road to 500. We're 43 away from 500 subscribers.
Awesome.
I did not think that this would happen. So, no, we're 42 away. We've gained one while we've been sitting here. because my Thunderbirds views is up to over 2,800.
Yeah, it's weird how you'll do one video and it'll just take off. That happened to us doing the tank
Well,
pass years ago. It's like
yeah.
it just took off.
I thought my Seawolf submarine, I thought that was great at like 3,500, 3,600, something like that.
Amazing, yeah.
So, yeah. In the last 48 hours, I got 100. I still did 171 of the B2 flyby, 871 of the F-16 of the Thunderbirds in the last 48 hours.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would stick with your idea of doing the planes.
Yep.
Just kind of capitalize on it, see where it goes.
Yep. So, all right, guys, I appreciate it. If y'all have anything, any comments on the videos, don't hesitate to drop it on there. And until next time, we will definitely see you on the flip side.